So if you watch the NFL, normally when the season ends, the following Monday, they call it Black Monday because that's normally the day where a lot of the coaches get fired. Well, apparently in the media world, it was Black Monday this Monday because we saw two of the, I guess, most recognizable voices and faces, for good or bad, get fired. Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon. So Tucker Carlson getting fired, I think that deserves some claps, some and you know, I'm assuming that might have been, I don't know if that was part of the deal of Fox News when they had to pay Dominion $757 million to settle that lawsuit. They said that was 10 times what Dominion was worth as a company.
Oh,
so you could say he was tuckered out. And it seems like CNN got thirsty and had a Don Lemon drop.
What is the Farouk was like writing in a notepad yesterday, just like puns.
That one just came to me. That was just
puns. So, but then, yeah, right. So Tucker Carlson gets fired. We're all celebrating, happy, dancing. You know what I'm saying? Because Tucker Carlson, I mean, he's just a piece of shit. I mean, he's a terrible, terrible human being.
When the photo came out of the protest around the verdict of Michael Rossell being not guilty.
Yes.
And Treble and I were in there, and I had the keffiyeh on my face.
Yes.
Tucker Carlson called me a terrorist.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so fuck him.
Yeah, so Tucker Carlson, just a horrible human being.
Yes.
A known liar. Somebody that, you know, really used white supremacy and racism to try to get ratings.
That was the crux of his show.
The crux of his show. But then, shortly after, Don Lemon said he was stunned. He got a call, not even from CNN. He said his agent called him. Hey, yo, are you getting ready for work?
Don't.
Hey, yo, bro, just go ahead and binge whatever show you was watching.
Good. Don't even tie up them wingtips, bro.
Loosen that tie knot.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
So again, and what was interesting about, you know, one, I think the interesting part about Tucker Carlson was he didn't get no goodbye show. They was like, oh, the show you did Friday, that's it, my nigga.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Don't come in, your desk gone, your set gone, your name's removed from everything.
Like I wonder if someone was scraping his name off the door.
Right, because it's like you don't even get to collect your things in the little box, right?
Key card access revoked, everything.
Yeah. It's similar to Don Lemon. So I'll start with you, Miracle. What was your reaction to Black Monday, right? Tucker and Don, these two faces that have been on our media landscape for so long, now both being like dismissed, kicked to the curb, discarded.
When somebody gets fired, do you call it black, though, is what my first question was. You know, I'm not a sports girl. So I was like, why I gotta be black?
Why I gotta be Black Monday?
You know?
Huh? Why can't it be White Monday?
I don't know. Whatever. So I was pleasantly surprised for Tucker Carlson. And again, we really don't know all of the details. The people were saying it is in part because he was one of the main people not only pushing some of these false conspiracies that led to the Dominion settlement, but that he apparently also may have ran his, hour and his team full of racism, sexism.
Right.
And there is also a companion discrimination lawsuit against him.
Absolutely.
And they found some evidence. And they said, you know what? You were too costly.
And it's interesting. They might have found that evidence because there's a lawsuit, they got all your text messages. Your lies have
we know what's up. We kept the files.
We kept the files. So, right. And in those text messages we saw, he said he hated Donald Trump. He said he didn't agree. He said he called Donald Trump's campaigning around him getting or he actually won the election. He called that insane, but yet he still perpetuated these theories that we've seen lead to violence, particularly on January 6th, which he spent the last few months actually trying to discredit January 6th. So apparently another one of the things that led to Tucker Carlson's dismissal was 60 Minutes did a 60 Minutes did a report on a guy named Ray Epps, who these right-wingers are trying to say he was the one that was an FBI plant to encourage people to do January 6th. And Tucker Carlson was the main one fueling these conspiracy theories. So now you settle with Dominion, $757 million.
$750 million.
Right. Smart Tech has a lawsuit that's coming behind that for $2.1 billion. And maybe Ray Epps sues, like you said, one of his producers sued for discrimination, right? So like Tucker could end up actually bankrupting all of Fox News.
Miracle called this.
Yes.
I think at the end of 2022, when Dominion first announced that they were going to sue,
Yeah.
Miracle said this might be the end of Fox News, that might bankrupt Fox News.
Because if they settle with Dominion,
It's a
you would
miracle.
think they would have to settle with Smart Tech, but they sued for more money.
Yeah.
So do they get more? Do they get $1 billion?
I mean, they might.
Then all of these other people that Tucker has lied on, there's so many. Can they sue?
You know, so as of 24 April, Fox News has a net worth of $16.48 billion. So if they lost $250 million just now,
Yes.
and then they get sued, and let's say they lose another $1 billion,
Yes.
and then whatever's on the horizon, that drops them. Those are massive percentage points.
Massive. And it also
It's like Succession in real life.
100%. Yeah, it's like real life
But
Succession. And Succession, ironically, is about the Murdoch family.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That owns Fox News.
Yeah.
Right, but I think it also goes to show that when you are someone who's privileged and entitled,
Yes.
you don't protect yourself or your assets, and then everybody else bears the brunt of
True.
your actions and has to be responsible for you.
Absolutely.
Because to my knowledge, Tucker himself has not been sued, and he's
True.
not paying it out. His employer is. But it's very interesting because people are saying, the streets are whispering, that Don Lemon, got fired because he pushed back on a conservative
Right.
candidate who's running for the presidency, and that CNN has told people, if you push back on Republicans when they lie, they won't come on the show.
Oh,
and
wow.
so you're not supposed to engage with these Republicans
Yeah.
and just let them lie. And so again, this whole decorum and be nice
Yeah.
part of white supremacy, and that we're supposed to pleasantly talk to people who are literally lying about our history,
Yes.
stealing our history, banning
Yes.
our books, and trying to ban our bodies is like the epitome of white privilege.
100%.
Because why am I supposed to be pleasant to people who are trying to erase me?
Right.
It makes absolutely no sense. But the fact that I can lose my job and my career,
Yeah.
and it's not saying that Don Lemon didn't have his faults.
Yes.
I remember,
There was a time.
There was a time.
There was a
when
time.
everybody was dogpiling on Don Lemon.
Absolutely.
Who was like in Ferguson, like, I smell marijuana.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, somebody's died today.
100%.
Like, these
Yes.
kids are grieving. Why are you talking about marijuana? And we watched the blackening of Don Lemon.
We did.
Yeah.
From
And that just happened
pro,
recently.
Yeah.
To pushing back, to having a politic, to having a voice.
Even in the queer space, in the queer representation, like we have seen that evolution of a more political and stronger voice.
And we've
Don
also
Lemon.
seen Don Lemon get lit at New Year's Eve.
That is what I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
Like,
Don Lemon got
I
lit.
got that bubbly. I got that bubbly. Like, I'm going to miss. Like, and I frankly feel that when they told him he had to be sober on New Year's Eve, he should have quit.
That was the
They were trying to drive him out. They were
Yes.
trying to create a hostile work environment for my brother Don Lemon, and he needs to sue. Because all of these changes, they wanted to push him out because
Right.
they want a white network. And it's not just Don Lemon. There have been a couple of other people, and now they're
Tiffany
saying that-
Cross. Well, these are different networks, but we've seen like Tamron Hall. We've
Tiffany
seen
Cross.
like black faces on these major networks being pushed out.
And I forgot, I see her face. I'm sorry, my sister. But even the 11 o'clock news anchor, she's black. They're trying to pull her out, her slot, all type of stuff, and make it this move to the right, and it's not going to work. But, this is the thing we live in. I hope Don Lemon...
Well, this is what Don Lemon said, Miracle. Don Lemon said, excuse me, CNN, according to my contract, He said he had a contract that goes to 2026, and he said he still owed $20 million on that contract.
Pay my brother and
You know what he said? He said,
"Oh,
we know what's up. We kept the file."
Sue for a hostile work environment. They changed his stuff. They took him from the evening to the morning. They've been putting my brother through the ringer, and I hope he takes them down. Be the next Dominion for CNN because,
because why not? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, fuck them. Trouble. Like, how do you see these firings?
I'm happy about Tucker.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
100%.
I was looking forward to that.
Yes.
He should have been out of there. I don't really know Don Lemon all like that. I've seen his face a couple of times,
right.
But I don't really follow these news channels. I made that decision when I was in elementary school. I'd come home, see my mom watching the news, and I'm like, this shit's depressing, bro.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to engage in this
more
shit.
positivity in your life. Yeah.
Or just like, it's like you can keep it real without it being fucking depressing all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But, one of the things that they say in the news, if it bleeds, it leads, right? So a lot of times the news is there to try to scare you, put fear in you, make you want to watch. You have to tune in. Hey, did you hear about the serial killer? We won't tell you until the next commercial break, right? Yeah. You're sitting there like, yo, where the serial killer at? So a lot of times that's what the news is. But it's interesting because we're watching this reshaping taking place of media, right? As people that are now in media because of our show, to watch, Fox News now dramatically change and CNN dramatically change so quickly. And then the question that a lot of people had around Tucker Carlson is, will they find somebody worse?
My question was that for maybe if it's not so much finding someone worse than Tucker, but does he become more powerful now that he's leaving mainstream? Does he go into like this independent space where he has no filter, there's no shackles to him, so to speak?
Yeah.
Like, can he just really just spew the most important rhetoric and then, create like this cult vacuum on the internet like Glenn Beck tried to, like Bill O'Reilly. So we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah. So I don't think, he's not, and I think because, we saw Glenn Beck leave and he hasn't had the impact.
Right.
We saw Bill O'Reilly leave. He hasn't had the impact. If Bill O'Reilly and Glenn Beck is talking, we don't know where because they don't have that major network.
But so,
Voice of the Z's, bro. We over here doing the show. Voice of the Z's. I can, brother. And it's very distracting.
But Glenn Beck left for alcoholism, right? He got
No. There was a coordinated effort against him by Color of Change.
Okay.
And what Color of Change did was they basically went after his advertisements. And basically he lost all of the advertisements. And then Fox News just, made the decision to get rid of him.
And Bill O'Reilly was touching people.
Bill O'Reilly
he was sexually harassing people.
Harassing women, allegedly.
Yeah.
And then they made a movie about it.
Yeah.
Made a movie about
So I wonder, like, does Tucker's exodus from Fox play differently because of the circumstances he left under, which would lead to maybe perhaps a higher platform that he has access to?
Unless CNN brings on Tucker Carlson.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Which they might, like you said, they're moving to the right. I don't see a high, and Tucker, and to say, like, people probably don't know or remember, Tucker Carlson started on CNN.
Yes.
He was on CNN at one time. And so, unless he signs with a major network, which I don't see happening, I don't think he'll reach that level of, visibility.
But does that? But though
the only reason I'm gonna say no is because he has a lawsuit about discrimination.
Right.
Okay.
If he would not have that lawsuit, I would say yes.
Yes to what?
To him moving to another network. I think he goes to like a Newsmax or OAN,
one of
these white supremacists. Or,
but that's what I mean.
Like,
does that make him more powerful though?
Name somebody on Newsmax.
Right. No, you're right.
On OAN. We don't know him.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm just saying, like, but to those people, does he become almost like a martyr?
Well, there was a lot of talk about conservatives. Conservatives already been pushing back, at least the far right, against Fox News because they felt Fox wasn't as loving towards Trump. Mm-hmm. I think they said last month or a couple months ago was the first time mentions of DeSantis were more than Trump. So there was this thinking amongst these far right QAnon folks that Fox has like decided to push DeSantis and not Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has been speaking out against Fox very clearly. And so maybe now, like you said, Tucker on Newsmax or ONN, he can get as wild and crazy, but it's just like those, they're just not on the cable services, right?
Yeah.
So I think the bigger question is, does Fox bring in or develop somebody that's worse